Hi, Simon here from Precision Permaculture. Welcome back to our series of videos that we're doing about our sand filter. I thought it might be useful to just do a model for you, just to show basically what's going into the sand filter regarding the aggregates we're putting in. Because it's not very easy to see down at the bottom of the trench that we've built, that's sort of 70 centimetres deep. It's not very good for filming there. So I hope this is going to be a useful one. If you imagine that this is the trench and this plastic bag here, this bin liner, is the liner to the actual sand filter itself. So the first thing we're going to do is, because it's on a bed of coral, it's still quite a lot of stones right at the bottom. They're pretty flat, but just to make sure we don't puncture the liner, what we're going to do is put some sand in, just some sharp sand at the bottom before we put the liner in. So I'll just do that into this box to show you what's going to go on. We're going to put about 1 centimetre of sand just in the bottom before we put the liner in. Not to scale, you have to use your imagination here a bit, but we'll call that 1 centimetre. There you go. Okay, so then we put a liner in, aka black plastic bag. And that sits nicely on the bottom. Okay. We have got some photographs of the actual aggregates going in, sort of step by step, so hopefully they'll appear as well in this video so you can see it as it was put together. Okay, so I've just mocked up a couple of the filters here that go in, the inlets rather, we should call them, an outlet pipes. So if I just pop those on roughly where they're going to be a bit lower than that, just on that side there. There you go, so that's basically what we've got. And what I'm trying to do with the larger stones, which for the purpose of this video, this size, but in actual reality, they're that size there. And these all came out of the hole we dug, so they're all going back in. So we're going to try and direct the flow around the bottom of the sand filter by putting some big sort of rocks in various places, just to break up the flow of the water so it doesn't go straight across or go straight up and out. So we're going to pop in some large stones to kind of help direct the water. Just put a little divider in there. That looks nice. Okay, so one right just at the front. Back a little bit there. Okay. So we've laid our stones out at the bottom, and then we're going to include some biochar in the channels where the water is going to run through. So I've got some biochar here. Here we go. So biochar, it's sort of like 100% carbon. It's very porous indeed. And inside, I don't know if you can see that, it's like a micro maze. So it's got a massive surface area which the good microbes and stuff will go into, and they'll be having a huge party at the bottom of the sand filter and cleaning up all the pollutants. And just to give you some idea of the surface area, this bit of biochar here weighs about 1.5 grams, and that's got the equivalent surface area of a whole tennis court in it. So 1 gram is about 185 meters square, the coverage, and that's pretty impressive, isn't it, really? Anyway, we're popping that into the channels in between the large rocks we've put in. So they're going in. And that's going to make a great little habitat for a sort of microbe super city, shall we say. In those go like that. Okay. So that's the base layer done. And then we're going to move up in size with the rocks that we're going to put in. So effectively, we're going to put these ones in on top next, and that's the equivalent of that kind of size there. So they're pretty sizable rocks that are going in to start with. We're aiming for a third large, a third sort of medium sized, and then a third sort of sand, very fine sand right at the end. So I'm just going to pop some of these in here. just to give you an idea. So they go on there like that. Then we've got some very slightly smaller ones that we're going to put in as well. So I washed all of these. It took ages to do. So I figured that if you wash the stones before they go in, it's going to be a cleaner filter. It's going to perform better. So I spent quite a lot of time washing all the stones and also graded them at the same time. Because some of the bags that were sort of 20 to 40 mil, they had some quite small bits in as well. So I was able to empty them into the smaller ones, smaller sacks that we had, just to grade them even further. So we'll put these in here like so. Spread them about. There we go. Right, now we move on to slightly smaller stuff going up in scale. So I'm going to put some flint in now. There, flint. If you're wondering where our little Bantam chickens are today, because usually they'll be on this table nosing in, they've both gone broody at the same time, so they're sitting on a nest. So that's why Heidi and Siki aren't here today. They make regular appearances on our videos. Okay, so they're a flint about like that. And then we've got some sort of pea shingle here. So this is sort of even smaller again. This is about sort of 2 to 5 mil, something like that. So that's going on next. Okay, that's looking good. And then we're going to move on to a layer of coarse sand. So I'll just put the coarse sand in there. Like so. Okay, so that's looking good. And then finally, we're going to put in, well, it's not finally actually, because we're going to dress it, but the last but one layer that goes in, it's very fine sand indeed, it's the kiln dried sand. And you don't have to wash this, so that's a bonus. So that goes in right as the last layer. It's very fine, as you can see. So that goes in, and we're going to just cover up the outlet pipe just over here. And don't forget, this outlet pipe's got Enviromesh over it to stop the sand clogging it up. But for the purposes of this demonstration, it doesn't. So it just goes to about there. That's it done. And there's a tip here as well. When you're planting up, the best thing to do is now at this point is to fill your sand filter full of water, because it's very difficult to plant into this very loose sand, very fine sand, because gravity takes over and you can't get anything in. But when it's wet, it's a lot easier to plant it up, because we're going to put some reeds in here as well that are going to take out different sorts of pollutants. We've got a couple of reeds going in. One is Typha, which is a kind of bulrush, and the other one is a reed called Phragmites. Right, so we've got it there. And then the final stage, final thing we're going to do is we're just going to dress it again. So we're going to go back to the sort of 20 to 40 millimetre, 2 to 4 centimetre sort of flint on the top. And that's going to make a nice sort of decorative finish to the sand filter. So you plant it up, and then you put your flint on the top. We've also got some decorative, got a Dutch reed going in as well, and some flag iris are going in as well, just to make it beautify it a little bit. So that's basically it. That's how we've put the aggregates in. And I hope that was a useful video, and if you like us, please subscribe and follow our progress. Okay, thanks very much all. Bye.